Thank you guys for tuning to Spiritual Beauty Ministry. So the word that God placed upon my spirit is, it's time to take your seat. It's time to take your seat. God is changing your seat. And this seat change that God is doing for you is going to be random and quickly. This seat change that God is doing for you is going to be random and quickly. God is using the enemy that you see as fight to sit you in your favor. And sometimes that enemy that you're going to be fighting is the enemy within you, because you're going to be thinking that either you're not worthy, you're not ready, but God said you've been appointed. You have been appointed for this seat that he is putting you in, okay? And so God does not want your insecurities to fight you and to cause you to walk out of this seat of where he's placed you. See, where God is placing you, he does not want you to focus on what's behind you, but he wants you to focus on the race that's before you. You see a battle by being in this seat, but God is getting you ready for a promotion that is going to begin happening. You see battle by being in this seat, but God is getting you ready for a promotion that is going to begin happening. God wants you to know that what I mean by you see it as battle by being in this seat is that you're going to fight with, because then with the seat that God is about to put you in, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. And it's going to make you feel uncomfortable because it's going to be around people who going to think they're like, who you think you are? Or they're going to be judging you, or they're going to, have their few words. But God wants you to know that do not get so caught up in their words. To know that he has already spoken over you a word. Don't get so caught up in their words. He has already spoken over you a word, and the word that God has spoken over you is tied to the seat of where he has placed you. Okay? And also God is saying is that do not walk out of your assignment, because God is saying he is rearranging this room for you. Do not walk out of your assignment, because he is rearranging this room for you. Do not fear the seat, because God's favor is tied to it. God's favor is tied to this place of where he's about to sit you. There is purpose in your seat. So don't fight with the shift. God is using it to help you stand. God is going to make you center in the room, not to cast you out in the room, but to call you forth to the room. God is making you center in the room, not to cast you out in the room, but to call you forth to the room. God is calling you forth to the room because it is time to step into you. No more being in the background. God is saying it is time for you to come forth. And that is why he is making you center in the room. Also, God is saying that before he places you in the seat that you want, you have to be obedient in the seat you have been placed in. Before he places you in the seat that you want, you have to be obedient in the seat that he has placed you in. And that goes for anything. If you want to be a supervisor, God says first you have to be at an entry-level position. You want to be a boss, first you got to be the assistant. You want to be the solo artist, God said first you got to be the background singer. You want the house, God said first you're going to have to take you to the having an apartment first. You want the car, God said first you have to go through spend some time on a bus. You want more money, but God said you have to go through some time having a little money. So guys, do not despise small beginnings. So this seat that you see is going to be what God uses to take you to your next. Okay? So do not despise the seat in the room, because God is using the seat to promote you in the room. Okay? God said that all eyes on you. You cannot do what everybody else do. God has put a mandate on you, so order has to abide in you. What other people may get away with, God saying you're not going to be able to get away with it, because he has already put a mandate on you. And when God puts a mandate on, that means that he put a decree that the you that he has called has to be. And in order for that to happen, there's going to be certain things that you can't do that everybody else can do, because God has put a mandate on you, and order has to abide in you. Okay? And also God is saying that there is only expectation because it's tied to your elevation. There is only expectation because it is tied to your elevation. This seat God is about to sit you in is going to change your name and your status. This seat that God is about to sit you in is going to change your name and your status. So stop fighting with it and start sitting in it. Stop fighting with it and start sitting in it, because this is your next. You guys be blessed.